Hello and welcome back. So since it's the beginning of 2025, we're starting with a fresh, clean slate for reading, which makes me very excited, also a little nervous. This year I wanted to try something that I've never tried before, and then I set reading goals every single year too. I think last year I was a little too ambitious, setting like 10 goals, so we're gonna back it down to a more manageable 7 goals and have them tie into something that I'm going to show you with my TBR jar. I figured we would first walk through the different goals that I have for 2025 and then introduce you to the 2 new jars that will be helping me throughout this year. I want to keep myself accountable for a certain number of books read on my physical TBR while also allowing myself to have some mood read time. So I will first go over my goals and then we'll get into what these are. My first goal is always setting a number to read. So my goal is to read between 75 to 80 books. I figured giving myself a range is a little bit more achievable than setting a certain number and then trying to get the high point of that. I put my goal on Goodreads as 75 books, and then anything beyond that is extra and I can be happy about it. I feel like that's a good number. I think I can read anywhere from 5 to 8 books in a good month. Audiobooks help a lot, but since I'm also going to be trying to tackle my physical TBR a bit more, I don't want to set the standards too high for what I'm trying to do. Next goal, I want to have 75% of my physical TBR complete. Prior to the books I got from Christmas time, that would mean that I had to read 26 books in order to achieve this. That's also holding myself accountable to reading those because that is a high goal, but I've also had some of the books on my shelf for years and I don't want to keep pushing those aside just for the new books always. Still want to read new books, but I also want to pick and choose books that I own and can read whenever. Next few goals are I want to read 5 nonfiction books this year. I have a couple on my shelf, so if those get picked in the jar, I can read those, but I also really like reading social psychology books and books for personal improvement, so that'll just keep me honest with those. I want to prioritize my series more, and I have a lot of series on my shelf that I keep not reading, so I want to finish 3 to 5 different book series. I also want to reread the Hunger Games trilogy. That is the one very specific goal that I put on this year, especially because Sunrise and the Reaping is coming out this year in March, and Songbirds and Snakes was my favorite book that I read last year. So yeah, I want to reread the trilogy because I haven't read the trilogy since high school either, and I would like to tab it. So that for sure is something that I can achieve. I want to continue with rereading books. I want to reread at least 5 books this year, and that doesn't count for the Hunger Games trilogy. If anything, I would count 1 book towards that. If it's I read a whole series, it only counts as 1 book, because I want to reread some of the other books that are on my favorites that I want to revisit. The last goal that I have is I want to post at least 20 YouTube videos this year. I just started my channel last year in the summertime. I think July or June was when I began. So this year I would like to be more vigilant with my tracking, with my sharing, and I'd like to try maybe doing another vlog again. But those are the 7 goals. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the 7 goals that I'm sticking to, with a few other things that I want to keep in mind that I just haven't put in ink. I want to start diving more into the Cosmere this year. I want to try another vlog, and I want to continue honing my editing skills. I love making goals, but I'm also such a go-getter sometimes that I'm let's step back and make these very realistic so that you're not disappointed by the end of the year. Yes. So those are the goals. Let's get into what I'm thinking with the jars. I have 2 jars here. I have every single book that I own in this jar. And what I'm going to do is at the beginning of each month, which I'll have a video for, I am going to pull out 3 books that I have to read that month. I don't have my sequels or anything like that in the jar. So whatever I pull out, that's automatically on the list. So I'm going to pull 3 from this regardless. But we'll start every video with a prompt from this jar. And this jar has 15 different prompts in it. Maybe 15? It's got a good number. Where it can be something as simple as add an extra book to your TBR, or pick a book of a certain genre, or it can completely guide the entire month, like a challenge or something like that. Some of the challenges are pretty unique and I like them, so I'm gonna save them for if I pick them. And we'll start the video by pulling from this jar then. Okay. I love this. I'm so excited. Let's see if we'll get a challenge or if we'll just get an add-on. Okay. They're not color-coded, by the way. I just used all the pretty colors because it's fun. I guess this is good, but I have to start and finish a new series this month. Oh gosh, okay. I'm trying to think of series that I can start and finish this month. Something I could start and finish. And it has to be a new series. I have the series chosen. I am gonna go with the first book in the Themis Files series, which is Sleeping Giants by, it's Sylvain Nouvelle. Ooh, I love that name. So Sleeping Giants is a sci-fi series, and we're following a main character who stumbles across this giant robot hand, or like mecha robot monster kind of hand. I think that this book is told in like, it's almost like question and answer style, and we're trying to figure out like all of the things that happened with this hand and like how people are responding to it. But I remember I got this entire series, like look at the cover. I thrifted this entire series from Goodwill, and each book was like less than $5, which is incredible, but I haven't read it in the years that I've owned all of the books. So I think this is a good excuse, and it probably won't take me too long to read this. There's only 3 books in the series, so we have Sleeping Giants, we have Waking Gods, and then Only Human, I think, are the 3, and I own them all. They're right here. So yeah, I think I'll do this one for the start and finish a new series prompt. Now that we picked our add-on, we're now gonna go through and pick 3 from the jar. I'm hoping that I pick some overlap with my winter TBR, but we shall see. My eyes are closed. Hopefully they're not falling out. Okay, good. Make sure. I'm gonna grab this one. Okay. Ooh, we got Boundary Side by Robert Jackson Bennett, which is also the first book in the series. Boundary Side is the first novel in this series by Robert Jackson Bennett, and it follows our main character Sancha, who is a thief, and essentially she is trying to steal an artifact because people are trying to get their hands on it to use it for nefarious purposes, you know? And apparently the magic system is similar to like magical coding, where you can imbue certain codes or commands into objects and make them sentient. That's all I really know about the story, and I'm excited because I've never read a book from Robert Jackson Bennett before, and a lot of praise came his way for The Tainted Cup last year. So I'm excited to dive in and see what the story is all about. Hi, what's up?
Did I fuck up the take?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I can edit it out.
Or just have it be B-roll or something?
Yeah. I'm doing the thing where I'm forcing myself to pick prompts so that I actually read the books I own.
Yeah.
And I picked the prompt that I have to start and finish a brand new series in 1 month. So I'm reading that one. And now this I'm not reading Malazan. That's 30 books, Colin. That'd be like a book a day, and they're like 1,000 pages. But this book's 500, and I just picked that one, and I have to pick 2 more. I'm doing this to myself. It's good for me.
So wait, the series is just 1 book?
No. The prompt that I picked for myself, the challenge prompt, I'm doing 1 challenge prompt, and then I'm picking 3 books that I have to read off of my shelves. So the challenge prompt that I got was start and finish a brand new series in the month. So that's this series, which is 3 books, okay?
Sure.
And then when I was just picking whichever books that I have that are on my shelf, I picked this one, which is 500 pages and the start of another series.
Hell yeah.
Don't call it the boob jar.
Sorry, you're right, the nipple jar.
Thank you, yes. I'm going to pick my next one, so... Stop making me laugh while I do this. Let's go for this one. Okay. Oh, okay. I picked out Hawks Harbor. I was not expecting that one. This book, I just picked up randomly from Half Price Books. It is by S.E. Hinton, who wrote The Outsiders, because I really like her writing, and I've read a lot of her books when I was younger. So I think this book will be pretty short. Okay, that's good, because I got a lot on my plate. But I think this book follows a psychologist who works at, like, I don't know if it's a psych ward or what it is. Yeah, but they become like obsessed with their new patient and learning about them. And this book was written in like the early 2000s, so I'm very curious like what the conversation is about mental health back then. I haven't even taken the sticker off of it yet. I didn't foresee myself reading this for so long, but now I'm like really excited. I think this was the last book S.E. Hinton published for like a long time too. Yeah, 2004. This was published over 20 years ago. What the heck? It's crazy. The last prompt, well, last book, I should say, that I have to read this month. Okay. Oh, yes, I got one on my winter TBR. Okay. Have What My Bones Know by Stephanie Fu. This is so exciting. I've been wanting to read this so badly because so many people love it. Okay, so this book is a memoir, and it's Stephanie Fu reflecting back on some childhood trauma that she has, and she was diagnosed with complex PTSD, so it's her story talking about everything she's been through and like after going to therapy, what her life looks like now. I've not seen anyone give this book less than 5 stars, and I hope to do the exact same. These are the books that I will have to read this month. So here's the series that I'm going to try to go for, and then these are the 3 that are on here. I'm not mad about any of these, really. It was kind of nice to get a shorter book and a book that I'm really anticipating in the list, because I already have like a ton of fantasy stuff and sci-fi stuff on the list, which is good. I think that's it for today, so we'll see how I end up doing, or how I end up doing in January with all the other stuff that I'm planning and reading, and there's a lot going on here. But I will see you next time. Thank you for hanging out. Make sure to subscribe down below. Follow me on Instagram. And help me not lose my mind this month as I try to read a bunch of shit. Okay. Bye.